Check, check, 1, 2. So, this is it. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time now. And, well, originally I wanted to do this, man, before I even get there. This is, I didn't think I'd ever be doing a video like this on my channel. I never thought I'd be doing like a raw, uncut, just me talking to the camera type thing. I always did like fun stuff, you know, you guys have seen what I do. But since I've come to college, I've felt like this would be a good thing to do, not only for myself, but for other people. So here I am. This is going to be different. This is like a raw, uncut video of my experience in college so far, and I've been wanting to do this since like the second or third week since I've been up here. But I'm glad I've waited, because there's been so much that's happened this semester and a lot more that I can talk about, and so that'll be awesome to unpack. But I was really back and forth about if I wanted to do this, if I even was going to make this YouTube video. At first I thought I would just record it so it's something I can come back and look on, and then I thought it would be good for my friends and family to see, just kind of authentic, my authentic thoughts about, you know, what God has been doing in my life at college. And then I felt the pull to post this, not necessarily promote it out on social media and stuff, but to post it and just have it available for God to use and God to send to people who need to hear what I'm about to talk about. And that is my experience as a freshman in college so far, which is crazy to say, because it feels like not too long ago I just started this channel, doing gaming videos and customizing and doing stuff with my childhood buddies, and it's hard to believe that that was coming up on 7 years ago. 7 years. Oh man, time has flown. That's crazy, but I don't want to make this video too long. I'll get comfy, because this is going to take a little bit. So what I want to do in this next however long it's going to take, I kind of want to just talk through my journey transitioning from childhood and graduating high school into my first semester as a college student and moving away, and what I've learned, my experiences, what the struggles, hardships, the highs, the lows, what God has been teaching me, all the things. I just want to come out here and talk about that. And so if that's not, whoever's watching this, if that's not for you, if you don't really care, that's fine. Feel free to click off. But for those who want to hear kind of what I've learned and what God is doing in my life, this is your place to be. I graduated this year, graduated high school back in May, and this whole last summer just hasn't felt real. It was a weird middle ground between I'm done with high school, but now it's a big step into adulthood, and I made sure to live it up. I won't talk too much about that, but nearing the end of summer was where I was kind of starting to think about it more, because I needed to think about moving to college. I can't just keep putting it off like I like to do with other stuff. But at the end of summer, I went to Nicaragua like I normally do, and of course, like always, it was an awesome time. Felt really connected with the Lord on the mountaintop, and coming back was hard, like it always is. I just wish I could stay there and keep serving God's people. And so that was kind of my mindset coming out of Nicaragua. First of all, I had orientation about like in the middle of the summer, and man, I was excited to go to college. It was just a blast. Like, I was learning. I was on my own. I slept in a dorm. I was with new friends, meeting new people. All these new experiences made it seem like so much fun. And so leaving orientation, I was like, man, I'm ready to go into college. I'm ready to move out. I'm ready to start this next day. Honestly, is what I was thinking. And so coming off Nicaragua, my mindset was pretty shifted. And this concept that I was thinking about was, it was a battle between, in my mind, if college was something selfish or not. And it's been hard for me to get into words. But briefly, the thought was that why should I go to college for myself and for my own learning when instead I could save a bunch of money and put it towards work in Nicaragua or anywhere else serving God. But in my mind, it was like, I could just be in Nicaragua where I have a lot of joy. I get to hang out with friends down there, but I get to serve God's people and share his joy. And I get to lead those to Christ that don't know him. And so I was like, why does it make sense for me to go to college to get a degree, get a job, blah, 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 down the road, if in the end that doesn't even matter? It'll all fade away once Christ returns, when instead on this side I could be furthering his kingdom and bringing the lost to the light, spreading God's word, and that would have a lasting impact because people would know Christ, and there'd be more people in heaven. So that was a battle in my head coming into freshman year, and I wasn't really excited for college. I wasn't ready to move out. I didn't want to meet new people. I didn't want to have get-togethers with Sanford people. I was just not for it. But I just had to drop that because I was set on going. So I had to shift my mindset, and leading up to moving out was weird. None of it felt real. Like I was packing stuff and packing all my stuff together, putting things away, taking stuff with me, loading up my car, saying goodbye to friends and family, and taking last drives around my hometown city. And it just didn't feel real, and it still kind of doesn't. In my mind, it kind of feels like a summer camp in a way, where I'm away from home for a little bit, but in this case it's a few months at a time, and then for fall break I get to go back home, come back to camp for another few weeks, and then Thanksgiving I'm back home. So in my mind that's kind of what it's felt like, but it's definitely been way more than that. And so that's kind of like a preface of my mindset heading up in college. And before I knew it, I was making the drive up with my mom, and I came up early for Worship Collective camp, which I'll get into down the road. But move-in came around, and that's when kind of all my buddies that I'd met in orientation were coming in, and it was all busy. Families and friends were on campus to move kids in, and campus was just popping. And it's all just so weird in my mind that this is happening, that this is real, that I'm on my own. And so the first few weeks of college were like boom, boom, boom. We got stuff. This is fun. There's so much stuff. So the next weekend was Connections Weekend, where we had concerts and dance parties and informational time and meals together and activities and getting to know new people, and it was Connections Weekend. It was all about connections and learning more about each other, and man, that was awesome. And then we had our first week of classes, which was crazy. It was just syllabus week, so it was pretty easy. And then that following weekend was freshman retreat, so that was another jam-packed weekend where it's like, yes, fun. Everything's fun. You get to meet a lot of friends, blah, blah, blah. And then man, those 2 weeks went by super quick. Man, I think this was like about the third weekend in. We didn't have anything. Like there's no connections or anything. It was just a normal weekend. And the homesickness was I can't talk. It's cold. It's cold. Let me show you guys this sunset real quick. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. I'm actually gonna stand up for a little bit real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that third weekend was really when the homesickness started to hit, and that was a tough weekend. I've been in contact with my hometown buddies this whole time, and I miss them dearly. They're family to me, and so it's been so weird without them, because I've spent my whole life with them in school, going to school together and that kind of thing. But man, that weekend was hard. I just felt alone. My TikTok feed was also not helping. I kind of caught the algorithm of all the other freshmen in college who were also getting homesick and talking about memories and stuff, and man, that did not help, watching all those. But man, I just miss my family. I miss my friends, and I missed my old life. And if you guys know me in person, you'll know that I'm a pretty nostalgic guy. So I'm all about, oh, remember this, and oh, remember this trip and this time. And no, I don't like change. I don't want this to change. I don't want to move out of this house. I don't want to graduate. I love the life that I'm living now. I don't want these things to change. And so that's been a big part of my college journey, is learning to adapt to change. And so going back to that weekend, man, that was probably one of the hardest weekends that I've had so far. I was just not excited for all this change. I don't like this. This stuff is challenging. You know, living on my own was challenging. It was scary. It was nerve-wracking. It was annoying not having my family or friends around me. And man, I almost came to tears. I almost came to tears a lot that weekend. And even that Monday morning in class, man, I was just, 8 a.m. just thinking, man, all these things in my old life that I miss. I'm just rambling, man. My old life, I was thinking about all the memories and all the stuff with friends and my high school classes and my memories with family. And man, I almost came to tears in class. And if I was gonna make this video around that time, and if I had made that, I'd be in tears right now for sure. And so that weekend and kind of that week was kind of low for me. And I want to quit. I just want to go home. I can't do this. It was all just negative, and my camera battery is about to die, so if this cuts out, it'll cut to the next battery. But anyways, oh man, that was a low week for me. And it's so crazy because in college you can have a low day, a low class, a low week, and then the next day can be completely different and be absolute highs. You're having the most fun with friends and activities and sports and whatever. And that's one thing I've learned, is that college is a roller coaster of emotions. Constant up and down, up, down, up and down. constant highs, constant lows, and that's part of adjusting, is what I've learned, is that I need to adjust to that roller coaster. But also I feel like that's kind of introduction to life, because life is, man, ups and downs, ups and downs. I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit and go back home. But then I thought to myself, I was like, quitting would be easy, and I'd be going back to what's comfortable and what I know and what's familiar to me, and everything would just resolve back to normal. But then I thought that, man, what about all these new friends I just made here? What about all these opportunities I've had, which I'm about to talk about? I've endless opportunities that I've had. But what about all this great stuff that I'm leaving behind? What about all this spiritual warfare that is hard, but it's good for me? And so that's kind of the next thing that I've been learning over this semester, is that you will face hardships. And I feel like, I mean, I've faced plenty of hardships in the past, but and then in this context, where it talks in the Bible about standing strong in the hardships and standing strong in your faith, because God does work in the trials and the hardships to produce goodness. So I've been learning and just thinking about how I'm in a season of hardship, but that hardship is good. It's a good hardship. It's growth. And this is important in my life, because I can't just live a life that's comfortable. I can't just live a comfortable life. God does work in the hardships, and in the confusion, and in the hurt, and in the loneliness is where God grows me. And so tying that back into Nicaragua, where I could have just ditched college and moved to Nicaragua. First of all, the loneliness aspect, which that would be hard, because I'd be in a totally different country in Central America, whereas here I can drive home in 5 hours and I'd be back with my family. But there that'd be a whole another level of loneliness. But man, maybe God has me here for spiritual maturity, and He has me here to work and mend in my heart, to mature me, to be in this spot where I am right now, to be thinking about, like, man, how is God moving in my life this semester? Just like thinking about all these things is, I feel like one of the reasons God has me here is because maybe I wasn't ready to go out on the mission field. Maybe God needed to have me here to learn more about myself, learn more about community, and strengthen my relationship with God before those things down the road. So, yeah, I was talking about opportunities, man. Going back to Worship Collective, that's a group I'm in where we're in 4 teams. I'm a drummer for one of them, and each semester we have 2 to 3 events where it could be a Sunday service or a night of worship or some worship service where the teams go out and we lead and serve and worship. And so my team has already done ours, but man, that has been a game changer in this first semester. It's like coming right into a family, which was super awesome, and I know not a lot of other freshmen got to experience that. But man, it was like coming straight into a family where man, these people just they don't judge me. They don't, who is this freshman? They don't treat me lower. And it's just such a nice feeling to be welcomed in like that. And they've been like my base of this semester so far, and they're always friendly and see me around, and that through them I've made connections to other people. So Worship Collective has been a huge part of this semester and a huge blessing, and that's led me to other opportunities. I've done stuff in freshman worship where we meet weekly on the nights, and it's freshman-led worship. And this is just something we started spontaneously, not thinking we'd get a lot of numbers or anything, but we've had to move outside because of how great the amount of people are coming. And that's been awesome and a great opportunity. And I now just made the Convo team, so I'll be leading for Convo morning worship, playing the bass and drums. Club soccer has been another great source of friends, and I'm glad I get to continue playing soccer. Man, the worship opportunities, I completely forgot to mention this. I think either my first or second week, I went to a worship event every single day. And man, there are a lot of opportunities for worship. Man, like Elevation Rhythm concert and other concerts here, and getting to see cool people, and a lot of opportunities that I wouldn't have if I would have backed down in that third week of college. If I would have backed down and went back to what's comfortable instead of staying through the hardships, trusting that God would pull me through and that He would bring fruit from it, and He definitely has, and that's been amazing to see. And what I was just about to go into is that I feel like there may be a stereotype around Christian universities. And so coming into Samford, I feel like me and probably a lot of people think, well, your faith is just going to grow and grow, and you'll be surrounded by great people and great leaders and great opportunities. Your faith will just be the best it's ever been. And while that is true, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but for me personally, it's also been kind of overwhelming. And I've had times where I've just gone to, oh, there's this worship thing coming up, sure, yeah, I'll go to that. This Bible study, yeah, I'll sign up for that, sure. This, I'll go to this. And I feel like at some points I've lost the focus of going to these worship events, and it kind of feels like I've been oversaturated in a way. Man, sometimes it's just like, this is just too much. And I feel like that's kind of bad to say, but I mean it in a good way. I'm trying to get to the point where I mean, like, I need to remember my intentions with going to worship nights and going to morning worship and all these things, because sure, I can check off the boxes. Yeah, I went to this. Oh, you guys are going to that? Sure, yeah, I'll go along with you. And so I've learned that it's important to remember why I'm going to these things, why these things are available. And honestly, there's been spots throughout the semester where my faith has been pretty dry, and that's just the truth. It's not, I feel like I can speak for a lot of people where they'll get overwhelmed with their schedule or the extracurriculars or just a lot of other things that's going on. There's a lot of college is constant busyness. College is constant opportunities. And so it's hard to keep God first in absolutely everything and not put Him to the side for this one thing so I can focus on this, and then, oh yeah, I'll come back to you in a second. But so there's been spots where it's been pretty dry for me personally, where just my prayer life is just dry and stale, and not focusing on the Word I'm reading, because I've been doing the Bible in a year plan, and so I'm in His Word daily, but am I truly, reading and understanding and learning and trying to connect, or am I just checking off a box? And there's definitely been those days, just being honest. And so college has been an emotional roller coaster, and it's been a spiritual roller coaster of ups and downs, and high points of where I feel God and just feel His presence and awesome stuff, and then just low points of God, I haven't really heard much from you on all this stuff, but really that's because I'm not putting in the effort in our relationship. God has all the effort on His side, but I got to put my side in on the relationship because it goes both ways. He's brought great friends into my life here and who support me, and I'm in a small group, which is awesome, that I have leaders that are here for me. And I remember maybe like the 4th weekend or something, I wanted to go to the market on Saturday, and it's like I was still pretty new. All my friends were pretty new, so I was like, I don't know who's gonna want to go to this. I don't really know. So I reached out to my small group leader. I was like, hey, I was gonna go to this market tomorrow. You want to go with me? And man, he went with me, and that was just a blessing that there's people here that want to know you, that want to connect with you. And going off of that, while I'm just thinking about it, is the importance of learning people's names. Because it feels great to be known by people who say your name. Hey Jake, how's it going? What up Jake, good to see you. And I'm gonna be honest, I haven't done the best job of remembering names. I've definitely hit a lot of hey dudes, what's up man, how's it going bro. And so if you're a freshman or whoever is watching this, learn people's names, because you know what it feels like to be known. And so it's important that you express that onto others, and that you know people and you put intention into those relationships. So I have my Bible with me. So let's talk about friends and people that are building me up, and I have people that want to support me, and professors are here for me, and I'm in a cadre, which is just like another small group kind of, and we're going through the book You Are a Theologian, and it's been really great. I would encourage you guys, if you're if you don't think you're a theologian, you see those people preaching on the streets like, wow, they know so much about the faith, I can never be there. That's the book for you. And for me, it's been great. It's been great to learn theology, but it's not like a boring thing. It's applicable stuff. Anyways, I'm rambling. That's been great. I've met with my RUF leader, RUF pastor, and got to talk about my life with him. And I was talking about going home. I think this was after fall break. Going home for fall break was awesome. I was glad to be home and back with my family, and it was just I was just like so excited. But being back didn't feel the same. And you know me, I like things to be the same, but it wasn't. Because in the back of my mind, I knew everybody, my family knows, has this in the back of their mind, my friends, that this isn't forever. This isn't permanent, that me being back home is not going to last long. And there's kind of that tension, like not a bad tension, but it's just something that I kind of felt that, man, life is new. We've entered a new chapter of life, and I'm not really fully in this picture with my family and friends back at home, and they know that I'm kind of off doing my own thing, and they have to adapt, and not like I'm the source of, they have to adjust just like I'm adjusting. I'm sure it's incredibly hard on them too, and my friends as well. And so I was talking about this with my RUF leader, and I was talking to him about how going home didn't feel like home, but also being here doesn't feel like home. And he reminded me of a passage in the Bible in Numbers, where Exodus and Numbers, where the Israelites are wandering in the desert, and They're just following God. They were just after Exodus, leaving Egypt. They were just following God's commands, and they didn't have a home. They were in wandering, and he said that kind of stuck with me, because he said that's kind of what I'm in right now, is kind of like a chapter of wandering, where I don't really have a home. I'm not fully at home back in my hometown. I'm not fully here. You guys, yeah, I hope that makes sense. I'm just kind of in a period of wondering over these next few years. For any family and friends watching this, I hope this has been fun to hear from me, and to kind of hear my experience, because I honestly don't really get a lot of chances to connect with you guys, and so I feel like this is a good way for you guys to hear from me. And for those, my subscribers that may be watching, or new people, I hope this has helped, and please reach out for any further questions. I would love to answer some more. But as I close, I just kind of want to summarize kind of my main things. I mean, the main thing is God's been teaching me to work through the trials, to stand strong in my faith, and to not turn back and run to what's comfortable and what's familiar, but to trust Him through this process, because this is where He's working and mending in my heart. And during this process, I need to stay consistent in prayer and intentional in prayer and in my Bible readings and in worship and such. And God just has me here to trust Him, to turn and rely on Him fully, and to battle the ways of the world, not to fall into temptation or the things of the world, but to stand strong and to let my light shine, so others can see, and to be the example. Man, this semester has flown by. It's already November. It's been a long time, but it's gone by so quick, and I'm almost done with my first semester, my freshman year. Again, this is something I'll come back to be a good thing for me to look at, of what I was learning and experiencing as a freshman. And to all my friends and family, grandma and grandpa, and papa, cousins, aunt, uncles, friends, anybody else watching, love you guys. Trust God through it all. Turn to Him in prayer and Bible reading, and get in church, and He will do great things in your life. And put your trust in Him fully, not halfway. Don't put your foot kind of over the fence. Don't sit on the fence, man. Go fully over to trusting God and His plan, even though it may be hard, may not be what you want. God's plan is better than any other plan you could come up with. And so take that to heart. Just want to encourage you guys, as I'm in the season, to keep pushing. If you're going through a season of hardship, just remember that God is working in and through you at all times, and to be open to what He has for you. Again, reach out, please, about anything. I'm about to head back to campus, which is right down there. Beautiful fall colors, and sunsets are always amazing here. And man, it's a blessing to be where I'm at. It's a blessing, and I need to remind myself of that daily, because not everybody gets to experience what I'm going through. And so count your blessings daily. I know I've rambled for a while, and so love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.